hiker friends. This is Little Hike Mike coming to you from Cliffs of the New State Park. And what you're seeing behind me is upstream on the Neuse River near LaGrange, North Carolina. And Cliffs of the Neuse, I have a video on that, and it's the closest thing that I have close to me, hiking trails wise, that resemble the AT and some of the other trails I've been on in the forest and everything. What am I doing here today? Well, a shakedown hike, and I'm readying myself for the 2019 Uwharrie Trail Thru Hike in the Uwharrie National Forest, and that's near Charlotte, and it's near the little town of Troy. It begins October 10th, which is a Thursday, and it will last for 4 days, which is about a 40-mile hike. And so we'll be on the trail from Thursday through Sunday with 3 overnights. So we will be backpacking, and I'm doing this shakedown hike to ready myself for it. And later on in my video today, I'm going to be doing a gear review of what I'm going to be taking on the Uwharrie Trail Thru Hike. So it's the 2019 Uwharrie Trail Thru Hike, sponsored by Three Rivers Land Trust and the Uwharrie Trailblazers and other businesses located in the area. There's approximately 70 people that have signed up for it. I think that's the limit to go. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to get on a hike in here because I've got to get myself ready for this hike. So I'll be back at you later. One other thing, it's October 2nd and it's 90 degrees. I'm sorry, it's going to be 96 degrees today. Now, some people would call that global warming. I call it an Indian summer. That's a heck of an Indian summer. So anyway, through the forest it's a little cooler, but not much. So I am sweating, and I'm trying to drink a lot, rehydrate, and also stay in the breezes. Hey folks, this is Little Hike Mike back at you, and I'm following through with the second segment of my video today about what's in my pack for the Uwharrie Trail Thru Hike of 2019. So the trip is a 4-day, 10-mile per day, 3 overnight camping thru hike. And this is the longest the Uwharrie Trail Thru Hike has been. So I'm glad to be able to participate in it. So what I'd like to do is show you what's in my pack. Now, this is a new pack for me. This will be the second time that I'm using it, and I'm going to do a review on it later. But it is a St. Elmo's Fire Quilt Company pack. I've used it once already on the Uwharrie Trail and had a couple issues with it, but they fixed it really well for me. So what I'd like to do is go through it. It is a 40-liter pack. It only weighs about 19 ounces. So what I would like to do for this video is I'd like to start by showing you what's in my pack. The total weight, including food and water, will be around 25 pounds, but the base weight is going to be right at about 15 and a half pounds. So that was my goal going into any kind of a thru hike, would be to reduce my weight as much as I can. So anyway, we'll start showing you by what's in the pockets here. And this one side pocket, by the way, they're pretty good deep pockets. And since I use an alcohol stove, I have a container of alcohol here. and it's about 8 ounces, so that should be enough to get through the trip. And then also is my water filtration system. So there's a water filter in here, and this is a bag that I use to fill up at the water source, which I made myself. And again, I can do a YouTube video on that too. And then also I have in this side pocket a water scoop, just in case the levels of water get really low. I'll have this scoop, and this is the bottom of a Planters peanut jar. So there's that one. And then the very last thing in this pocket is a head net in case the bugs are really bad. So I hope not, but that's going to be in my pack also. The second pocket on the side, the other pocket on the side. Well, first off, let me get these out. These are my camp shoes, and I have them strapped in on the side. They're basically just tongs that are very lightweight, so I use these, and they're very waterproof. But in the second pocket over here, I keep my cook kit. And I use the Snow Peaks 750 milliliter stove, or cook kit rather, and also cradle in there, and I have the cup, so for coffees and hot drinks and that sort of thing. So inside here I have a little bit of a cleaning tool, a wiping cloth, and then my little alcohol stove right here, along with my windscreen. It's made out of stainless steel, very, very lightweight. I have my measuring cup for my alcohol and my lighter, all cradled in here very neatly. So that will be my cook kit, which I only use for boiling water. I don't really anticipate having to clean it out that much, but if so, I did bring some extra cleaning materials. Okay, so there's my cook kit, and it has a nice little bag it comes in, mesh bag, very lightweight. So there's my cook kit. Also, let's see what else is in that. That's all that's in there. Now, in the front mesh side of my pack, I carry a couple of navigational tools, a couple of maps here of the Uwharrie Trail that were provided by the Three Rivers Land Trust for the trip, and I carry a compass. Now, I like to have fun with stuff like that, so I'm probably going to not need this for, we're not going to be doing any bushwhacking. These trails are very well marked, and so it shouldn't be any trouble getting around, but I like to know where I am, and so that's a good tool to have. Also, on the front strap here, I carry the Garmin InReach Explorer, and I've used this quite a bit for recording my trips, and also for the fact that it does provide me a little bit of a safety net in case I have a health problem or an injury. So that's going to be going with me also. Attached to my back strap here is the Deuces 2 only 6-ounce trowel in case I need to dig a cat hole. So that's with me. And inside the mesh, a couple things I have for keeping my pack dry is my pack cover. And then I also have my toiletries in here. And I use redundancy quite a bit when it comes to keeping things dry. So I do have my toiletries in Ziploc baggies. My wiping toilet paper, also my wet wipes, and then I do carry some tooth cleaning material, also for our disposable brushes. And then if I do happen to get really dirty and sweaty on the trail, I can use some water and wash myself a little bit with it. So that's all my little toiletry bag right there. And then also inside the mesh is I carry fire starting tools and equipment, matches, and then also some cotton balls that have been mixed with Vaseline, so that helps start fire. I've only had to use that a couple of different times. And then there's also a little package here of needles and thread, and that if I do come on to where I need to do a repair on something that I have. So that's in the back. And I didn't want anything to puncture some of the inside things I have, so that's on the outside of my pack. My tent pegs are also in the outside of my pack, again, to keep things from possibly getting punctured on the inside. So that's the outside. And then one last thing in here is my first aid kit. My first aid kit has got quite a few things inside of it. It probably weighs a little bit more than I really would like it to. I could probably get rid of a few things, but the point is you know, you always pack your fears, so I got things in there that hopefully I will never have to use, but if in the case I need it, then I have it. So that's my first aid kit. Now, I think that's all I have on the outside. Oh yeah, my pockets. My pockets are pretty good size pockets on my hip belt. And so the one side I keep things like inside of another dry bag. Well, not so dry, I came to find out. But anyway, it does protect it quite a bit. There are several items in here that I really do use and do need on the trail. One is my medications and vitamins and things like that. I keep that. And again, I use redundancy, so they're all wrapped up, double wrapped up to keep everything dry. I do have some, you know, to sleep at night. Noises do bother me, so I do put some ear plugs in. And then I wear contacts, so I have a little bit of a Visine for my contacts to keep them moist. And then I actually do have a second set of contacts just in case one were to come out. I have an extra lighter here, and then since I wear sunglasses, I like to keep my sunglasses really clean, so I have some wet wipes, alcohol wipes to keep that. And I carry an extra bottle cap for my 750 milliliter smart bottle, so that goes in there too, just in case the other one is lost or needed. So that's all going in there. And then the other pocket, there's a couple things I carry that help me at night to smooth out my muscles, just in case they really get sore, that sort of thing. So that's a little ball that I can roll on my leg or my thigh or my calf, whatever gets sore. I carry some sunscreen. The sunscreen, I don't know if we're going to be in too much of a sunny area, but of course I burn easy, so I usually like to put a little bit of sunscreen on. And then I keep my headlamp in there also to try to keep it dry. It is a rechargeable one, so I keep that in a Ziploc. And then one other thing, this is for bugs, it's called Terra Shield. Terra Shield is an oil that my wife, it's by doTERRA, and doTERRA provides different types of oils, but my wife is involved in that, and so a lot of her oils are medicinally used, and the Terra Shield is used for keeping bugs away. So that's been very effective, especially with gnats. It stays on your skin better, you put it around your face, and it does a real nice job. Now, getting into my pack, it has a roll top on it, so I need to unroll that. It's a 40-liter pack, so I got quite a bit more space. It has these snaps up at the top. So I carry some trash bags, usually put inside of my food bag, so I want to have those and to put my trash in for the leave no trace. And then my food bag itself is a Sea to Summit food bag, waterproof bag. Right now, for the 4-day, 3 nights, I have about 5.5 pounds of food in there ready to go. So everything is freeze-dried or dehydrated, and except for my wraps that I usually like to put my tuna in with some mayonnaise. Maybe that's probably overkill for the amount of food, with the amount of food that I have, because usually I end up bringing food home. But anyway, once again, packing my fears so I won't go hungry, that's for sure. Next item in here, I carry one liter water bottle in there smart water bottle. So I'll have this one, maybe another one depending on how dry it is. And then I like to drink out of the 750 milliliter bottle. So that's inside there, upright, so hopefully it doesn't drain. I also keep my electronics in here, recharging material. I use the Anchor. I'm taking the Anchor 10,000 with me. Hopefully that's going to give me enough charge for this trip. And then all my power cords, and then my plug-in charger. I'm not going to have much opportunity to plug anything in. I may take that out. Anyway, that is my electronics along with my iPhone, which is the iPhone 8 for taking these pictures. This is my rain jacket. You know, it's fairly readily accessible in case it gets real downpourish, you know, as far as rain goes. But I do put it in case it does get wet, dries out, I can put it inside of the Ziploc bag so it doesn't get other things wet inside of my pack. And then I carry a food cooking pouch here. Pretty much this is what I use to cook with. After I boil the water, I use freezer bags with my food in it, and then I put it in there. Of course, you've seen videos on that. And then I carry my longer spoon inside of here, so that's where it goes. And so I have that. And then on top of the next thing is my my tent. Now this is the 3F UL Landshan 2. Now there's been a lot of reviews on this. I like it. It was inexpensive for my budget, and it's fairly lightweight. So I like it. I've really not used it in really heavy downpour weather. So from what I understand, though, it is very waterproof. And so far, I don't have any problems with leakage with it. So hopefully that'll be the case if I need it. So that's very compact. It weighs about 2.5 pounds. So that's not too bad for a tent. Now, getting into my things that are in my pack liner, I use a white compact or trash bag to keep my really needing to be dry essential for sleeping in it. And there's 4 items that I have down in here. One is my sleeping bag. This is the Outdoor Vitals sleeping bag. It's a 30-degree quilt. Actually, it's not a sleeping bag, it's a quilt. And I used it in July, also on the Uwharrie Trail, and I really didn't need that much even then, but I didn't really cover myself too much because the temperatures were up in the 60s and 70s at night. So anyway, I have it as a security blanket in case I do need it, if the temperatures were to drop down really low. So anyway, there's my sleeping bag. And then I do have a clothes bag in here. So I have certain dry clothes that I like to get into at night, a couple extra pairs of socks, some underwear, things like that. So I've packed this pretty much lighter, more lighter than I had in the past when I'm hiking in cooler weather. But I do have this, it's also in my liner bag to make sure that these clothes are kept warm, or dry rather. And then 3 more items actually. This is a hoodie. Once again, I don't think I'm going to need this, but if I do, I have it. And you know, so hopefully the temperatures aren't going to drop much lower than 60 degrees on this trip. But that's down inside there. It is the Outdoor Research hoodie, which I'll do a review on it at another date. And then the 2 other items I use for sleeping. One is my X-Sped pillow, which I've used this, and you don't want to get this wet for sure. I've had that happen to me on the AT, and it did get wet and I couldn't use it. I had to use my clothes bag for a pillow. So that's inside my pack liner. And then the Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite sleeping pad. And you know, I've used this on several trips. I really like it. It does keep me warm on the bottom as long as the air doesn't come out of it, which I've never had happen, knock on wood. But you know, if I were to get another one in the future, I think I would want to get a little bit wider pad to sleep on. Anyway, so that is completing the inside of my pack, and there you have it. So along with the pack and all of its contents, without the food and the water that I'm going to be having on is roughly about 15.5 pounds. So I've done everything I can with my budget pretty much to try to cut my pack weight down, and also I probably overkill on the food. And so this pack is a frameless pack. It does have the little sit pad that helps keep the form of the pack, and then also a little bit of cushion on the back. But I really like this pack. But anyway, that's pretty much wrapping this up. This is the first time I've done a pack review of what's in my pack for any of my hikes, and I hope it is informative for you. I hope that it could be unique to some of the other ones you've seen. But for those who are interested and like my channel, I'm just going to ask you if you would hit the subscribe button. And also, if you'd like to know when a new video is out, you hit the bell, and that way they'll give you an indication that I've just made another video. So this is segment 2 of my Uwharrie Thru Hike 2019, my shakedown hike and pack review. And the next video that will be coming out will be the Uwharrie Thru Hike Trail, or the Uwharrie Trail Thru Hike. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do it in 4 separate videos, depending on what we see each day or how long it takes me to edit different things, but I may do the whole thing in one video. I have a tendency to believe that the longer the video, the shorter the view time is. So I like to do these videos. I think I'm going to start doing these videos in shorter segments. And anyway, so this is Little Hike Mike, and I appreciate you watching. I hope you tune into my channel, and I'll look forward to seeing you down the road on the trail. Have a great adventure.